everyone, I'm back. Today's video is a special one, a very meaningful one, because I'm doing a mani to show my support for a chronic illness called Ankylosing Spondylitis. Today is Ankylosing Spondylitis Awareness Day, May 7th, or it's usually the first Saturday of May. And so I was going to do a Mother's Day mani, but I wanted to show some support to people suffering from this disease. My daughter, my oldest, Maija, was diagnosed with Ankylosing Spondylitis. It's a mouthful, y'all. Ankylosing Spondylitis about a year ago, and she's being treated for it. But the awareness color is blue. So I'm using Not in a Wink from Dipp'd, and then as an accent, I am using this gorgeous speckled dip from Marullo. I hope I'm saying that right. Marullo Nails. I love their little jars. That was a sample size that I got. And then I'm going to throw some butterfly decals on there because I just, I love butterflies, and I really want my amazing daughter to be able to spread her wings and fly and not be held down by this terrible disease. So I'm going to get into this mani. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit discombobulated and disorganized in my thoughts because I have a lot that I want to share and say, and I'm trying to do it in a way that makes sense to everyone. Anyway, so the awareness color is blue, and I went through all my colors, and these two, I just loved that speckled dip from Marullo Nails. It's my first time ever using a dip from them, and I really wanted to try it. It's called Venetian. And then Wink and a Nod is just such a, or Not in a Wink, I think it's Not in a Wink, is such a beautiful medium blue, and it went really, really well with Venetian. So that's what we're doing. It's going to be a simple, pretty straight up dip. So whatever is in the dip from Marullo Nails, Marullo, I hope I'm saying that right, it's a white base, and then it has, they're not flakies, and they're not really glitters. They're kind of like, I don't know, they remind me of like paint chips. I've seen them in other dips before. I know Dips has done a bunch of dips with these in them. These ones were pretty easy to work with, though. I've had ones that were like too cram-packed full of these, and they were really, they made really thick nails, and I wasn't a fan. But these are broken down pretty finely, and they applied with no issue at all. So, but I really loved that dip, and so I thought I'd use that and find a blue that matched some of the blue speckles that are in that dip, and that's how I came to this plan for this mani. But I definitely wanted to use a blue because, as I said, the awareness color for Ankylosing Spondylitis is blue. And every awareness ribbon that I saw was pretty much this, kind of medium, almost cornflower blue. So that's where I kind of went with this. So while I'm dipping out, I'm going to dip into Not in a Wink twice on the 3 nails that I'm using it on. And while I do that, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about Ankylosing Spondylitis. So it is an inflammatory disease, which it's like a form of arthritis. And it affects the spine, and it affects the, it can affect the hips. As it progresses, if it goes untreated, it can cause something called bamboo spine, where the vertebrae can kind of fuse together and cause mobility issues, and it can also cause, in older age, the hunching of the back. That doesn't always happen to everyone. The prognosis and the effect of this disease is different in everyone. There is no straightforward answer. There is no straightforward prognosis. There's no way to know who's going to be severely affected and who's going to have minimal symptoms. Currently, my daughter has, she's sort of in the middle of the pack where it's not no symptoms, but she's able to function, but she does have a great deal of discomfort, especially in her back and in her hips, which, she has a job where she's on her feet a lot. She's a dog groomer, so that can be challenging for her. But she is receiving treatment. One of the main treatments for ankylosing spondylitis is biologics like 𝕎𝕝𝕟𝕟𝕟𝕟𝕟. So it's an injectable medication, and my daughter has to do that every 2 weeks. And because it is an immunosuppressant, it makes her susceptible to infections and things like that. So that's a challenge sometimes too. And if, say she gets something as simple as an ear infection, she would have to take an antibiotic for that, but she can't take the 𝕎𝕝𝕟𝕟 while she's on an antibiotic. So she has to stop her 𝕎𝕝𝕟, finish the course of antibiotics, and then she can restart her 𝕎𝕝𝕟. So, this is a lifelong disease. It can be debilitating. And it is genetic. So it's highly possible that I have this disease as well. I have not been diagnosed yet, but I am looking into seeing a rheumatologist and finding out if that is the reason that I have all of the back issues that I have. I've had chronic back issues since I was a teenager. In my junior year of high school, I had a severe bout of spasms and pain in my lower back. And it affected me in such a way that I had to quit dancing. Dancing was something that I was very serious about when I was younger. I was in a dance company, and I was actually planning on becoming a dance teacher and owning my own dance studio. That was my ultimate goal. And because of the debilitating back pain that I experienced and the fear of injury, I was unable to continue dancing, and I had to quit, which caused all kinds of other issues. So, but I do this isn't really about me because I don't really have a diagnosis yet. It's just kind of something that I'm wondering about, and I'm going to look into for myself. Because ankylosing spondylitis is a disease that rears its ugly head as early as mid-teens, 14, 15, 16, sometimes a little later, but it's usually between the mid-teens to the mid-40s where people begin having symptoms of this disease. So it's fairly likely, and considering it's a genetic disease, it's highly likely that Maija has it because I passed it down to her. So, but anyway, but it's something that not a lot of people have heard of. I certainly never heard of it until they started talking about the possibility of my daughter having it. So then I did a lot of, as a parent does when you find out your child may have something that you don't know anything about, you research. So I started reading a lot about it, and so that's why today, instead of doing a Mother's Day Mani, which I love my mother and I love being a mother, but you know, part of being a mother is supporting your children. And my daughter has been through a lot with this disease and continues to fight and continues to go to work every day and function somehow through all the pain and discomfort. So I just felt like I needed to do something to show her how much I love her and believe in her and support her no matter what. So now I am applying, not to like, I just rambled on and threw a lot of information at you, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm doing with this powder. So I kind of sped through it, but I did what I would with a chunky glitter. And I poured over first, and then I laid my finger flat, and that worked perfectly. And now I'm able to encapsulate everything in clear to protect it from my filing and buffing, which I am going to do off camera. When I'm finished applying the clear, I'm going to activate, and I'm going to file and buff off camera as I usually do. But I just wanted to mention that because I was kind of rambling on while I was applying that beautiful speckled dip powder, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. It was not difficult to apply. I don't know if anyone else has tried a dip powder like this that has these kind of thicker, they're not, I don't want to call them flakies because they're not. And they're not really glitters either. They break apart kind of like, I would say like a paint chip almost. I don't know how else to explain it. But they're very easy to like break up into smaller pieces, which is great because if I got a piece that was way too big, I could just take my little cuticle cleaner thing and just like tap on it and it would break into littler pieces. So it was very easy to apply, and it laid kind of like a chunky glitter. So I like the fact that there wasn't too much of those pieces and that there were smaller pieces. Like it's a really cool effect. It really does kind of look like a springy speckled. It makes me think of those robin egg candies, you know. I really just love the way it looks and how it turned out. It looks great on the nails. So I am now going to finish activating everything up. And as I said, I will be filing and buffing off camera. I'm going to get them all shaped up and pretty. And then I'm going to apply these butterfly water slide decals. They're white and they are not 3D decals. They kind of look like they are, but they're just white. They are flat. So I am going to apply those, and when I am done, I'm not going to talk about it because you guys have seen me apply water slide decals. I'll leave the playlist for water slides up in the cards. But I'm going to let you just watch me apply these. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to take a break from yapping at ya, and I will be back in a little bit to apply top coat. One thing I did want to jump in and mention is that I forgot to say before, I will include some links down in the description box that gives a better explanation of what ankylosing spondylitis is and give you a little bit more information about it than I was able to provide to you. I'm not a medical professional or a doctor. I only know what I've learned from reading about it. So I'm going to share some links down in the description box for all of you if you are, curious about it. If you think, well, that kind of sounds like something I might be dealing with, then you can be more informed when you talk to your doctor. But yeah, I just thought that might be helpful for all of you, so I will do that. And if you have any questions for me, or you have any experience with this yourself, feel free to comment down in the comments below, and we can have a conversation about it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now, like I promised, and I'll see you in a few. All right, so I just finished encapsulating those water slide decals in my base, my dip base. I'm going to let that dry, and while I am letting that dry, I am going to apply my OPI matte top coat, and this is just a regular nail lacquer. It's like a nail polish, and it is such a beautiful matte when it is dry. And today I decided to do 2 coats of it because I felt like the last time I used this nail polish, I'm going to link that video up in the cards too. It was a great nail polish, and it did last, but it didn't feel quite as thick and sturdy as my dip top coat. So I decided to apply 2 layers of it today, and I do like it better. So I will be doing that from now on whenever I use this matte nail polish. And then I'm going to use my regular dip top coat on the blue nails and the decals. I am now activating I'm now activating those nails and applying my dip top coat. And when I am done with that, this mani will be fini. And I'm really excited about it, actually. This has got to be one of my, it's a simple look, but I really am happy with the outcome. And I absolutely love this white dip with the, I don't even know what you call them. Shards? They're not glitter shards, but they're kind of like shards. But it's just such a cute, springy look. It does, I mentioned before, it reminds me so much of some kind of a speckled egg, which is kind of a popular look right now. It's kind of trending. So look at me. I don't usually do a whole lot of trendy stuff on my channel. I do what I like, and I do what I think other people like. And if it falls into the trend that is currently popular, yay me. Anyway, so I'm really happy with it. I highly recommend that you give Marullo, I think I'm saying it right. I keep saying that, but I never want to say a company's name incorrectly. But I love their little jars, and the dip powder was really nice to work with. And white dip powders can be finicky and not fun to deal with, but it filed up very nicely. So yeah, give them a try. Here's the finished look. I'm going to show you. So I have one butterfly on the ring finger, and then I did end up applying 2 little butterflies on each thumb, and I absolutely love it. And I hope my daughter Maija loves this mani too. This is for you, baby girl, and I love you, and I am so, so proud of you. Keep fighting the good fight. And, if I end up getting tested or diagnosed, I will let you all know. But as of right now, I'm just here to support my daughter, and just pray that someday there is some kind of treatment or cure for this horrible, all arthritic diseases are terrible. Rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, all of these arthritises are really debilitating for a lot of people, and difficult to live with. And, who wants to live in pain every single day? Certainly not me, and I know Maija doesn't enjoy it at all either. So, there's always that hope that someday there'll be relief for everyone who suffers from chronic pain. So as I was talking, I was applying my cuticle oil from Candy Skincare. This one's called Spring Fling. It is from the most recent sub bag, and it smells yummy and delicious, as all of her cuticle oils do. CJ is a scent magician. So I really enjoy using her cuticle oil. It feels really nice, and it is super hydrating. All right, here we are, all moisturized, and I am really happy with this set. Thank you for joining me and listening to me talk about this issue and this awareness mani. I hope that you all learned a little something, and if you have anything to share about the subject, please comment down below. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye now.